Hello friends, I am Baltmatrix, and today we are taking a look at everybody's TV talking junkie on Wreck-Gar, specifically Transformers Studio Series 86 Voyager class Wreck-Gar. I picked this figure up over at the Big Bad Toy Store. Alright, so first off, in robot mode, this figure looks amazing. It feels like it jumped off the screen and into my collection. That's how good this figure looks. It is quite honestly the most screen-accurate Wreck-Gar we've ever gotten in the main Transformers toy line. It's that good. I mean, it's amazing looking. And look at that head sculpt. I mean, look at it. I cannot get over how good this thing looks. The figure even has chest guns that pose. I mean, these little guns they're on ball joints, and they pose. Brilliant. Front to back, this thing looks amazing. Simply amazing. Is it perfect? No, there are actual problems with this figure. But I don't care, because dang, is this thing good. In terms of size, here Wreck-Gar is with Voyager-class Siege Springer, obviously 86 Hot Rod, and, RC. RC, are you from Earthrise? I don't remember. I think you're from Earthrise. Yeah, we'll go with Earthrise. Now, Wreck-Gar does come with a bunch of accessories, 4 of which are attached to his limbs. These spikes do come out, but I'm not even going to try to take them out because a couple of folks over on Twitter and over at the different forums out there have all expressed dismay with them snapping clean off. A couple of folks I've seen have tried to, just remove the wheels and had these just snap off completely. The other accessory you saw is the axe, the spinny axe that pegs into his back when not in use. And the back, yes, that is going to be the fuel tank for the vehicle mode. It can also peg into his butt like that. I'm just showing it to you. Or it can peg into his butt like that. That's the screw hole, and that is a figure stand hole. I would expect it to be on the lower end, but given how this thing transforms and is put together, I can understand why it's right there. Both wheels come off pretty darn easily, and I'm just being very ginger and very gentle with the wheels. They freely spin. It's like, I bought a Wreck-Gar and I got 2 fidget spinners. Whee! The wheels can mount on any of the 4 pegs, either on both legs, both arms, or any other combination you want to come up with. Unfortunately, the actual pegs here are more around 8 to 10 millimeters as opposed to the 5 millimeter port, so they can't peg in or work with any other figure. I'm really hoping that this guy, or Wreck-Gar, gets a repaint as a random Junkion down the line, because that would be fun. 4 of these things on him. The axe itself is fun and spinny, and you get, well, I lied, not 2 fidget spinners, 3 fidget spinners. But there is a major issue, at least with my figure with the axe. His right arm, or right hand, is too big. It doesn't actually peg in. There's no friction there. Now on the left hand, there's no problem. Pegs in, no problem. Doesn't pull right out. There is some friction. But on the right hand, not so much. So much so that, here, pushed it all the way in, and okay, that's failing miserably, but I've gotten it to fall out when I've turned it upside down in the past. And speaking of things not pegging in, his torso doesn't peg in real well. It does peg in, but it requires virtually no force to unpeg it. And that's part of the transformation. There is a little tab, and there's the actual peg. It folds down and tabs into place, but it just requires the littlest amount of force to unpeg. I can probably fix that myself, but just be forewarned. Wreck-Gar's posability is pretty darn good, but a little bit limited on the head because of the goatee, oddly enough. And that's a sentence I didn't expect to say today. Head can look up pretty far and swivel, swivel, swivel. Shoulders are on swivels and can hinge out pretty darn far. Swivel at the upper arm, 90-degree bend at the elbow. Fists are on swivels, but you initially wouldn't think they are because of the way they transform. Yes, they do fold up into the forearm. Torso swivel, and then ab crunch that doesn't really help. Legs can kick forward on swivels, and then they have ratchets for in and out, but they're the plastic ratchets that don't make clicky sounds, but they're not bad. Thigh swivel, bend at the knee, not 90 degrees. Foot can move forward and back, and then the thing I love about the ankle articulation is it's kind of like the bottom of a sandal can, or the bottom of his foot can articulate. Not the top, just the bottom. That's so silly. All of those joints means that he is a highly posable figure, though he is a smidge top-heavy, which, not a big deal. It really isn't. I love the look of this thing. I love it. The robot mode is so good. It's everything I ever wanted from a Wreck-Gar figure. Plus, he is big enough that he can just kind of smack Hot Rod upside the head. Like that. Oh, there we go. Now the axe flew out of his hand. See, I wasn't lying.
The transformation for Wreck-Gar is very simple and a lot more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. Start off by folding the fists up into the forearms, then come to the front of the chest and lift it up just a little bit at the abdomen, swing the shoulders out, then reach behind the head and pull the entire backpack and shoulder assembly down, and then extend the chest. Stick your finger in the cockpit there, or cockpit or windscreen, and use your finger to leverage the front of the motorcycle up, then tuck and collapse that extended bit up underneath the front of the motorcycle, swing the shoulders in underneath that opening and swing the arm and shoulders around, and then the top of the arm, or I should say the bottom bicep of the arm, is going to peg into the chest plate. Plug the motorcycle wheel in, plug the other, or repeat the process then on the other arm, and we've pretty much got the front of the vehicle mode done. You can then fiddle with the guns there to make them point forward as opposed to the ground. Now come to the back and that little hip section abdomen, flip that out like 1 or 2 clicks, and then literally just fold the feet up and fold the legs forward on their knees and peg them into the tips of the shoulder blades. It's actually quite simple when you stop and think about it. It's a lot easier than a lot of other Transformers that I've gotten a hold of lately. Oh, yes, and the inside of the knees is where the other wheel is going to go. And yeah, that's it. That's the transformation. Super simple, but insanely satisfying and so much fun. I love it.
I dare say this is the best Wreck-Gar motorcycle we've ever gotten, or one of the best. Those original Generation figures, Generations? Was it Generations? I don't remember. Those figures were fine. They were dirt bikes. This is much more akin to what we got in the movie, and it works really well to me. Now, me being a, movie fan, or 86 movie fan, I really liked those designs, and this mirrors those designs quite nicely. And I love the addition of the kickstands, and they added the kickstands on both sides, which means you could keep the bike mode straight, or sitting straight. I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate that. Now, from the proportion standpoint, yeah, the front of the bike mode is a little weird. I can't deny that at all. It doesn't look right, especially considering you have a dual or a triple tree structure to your front wheels on a motorcycle. And this is obviously a dual tree structure, but they're a bit big for for the bits that are holding that front wheel. And the way they're positioned, you're not going to be able to turn all that easily. Oh well, who cares? It's a giant robot transforming toy that turns into a motorcycle. And oops, I've got the guns pointing in different directions. That's not helpful. I love it. I absolutely love it. And what I also love is the fact that this Voyager class figure's motorcycle mode fits deluxe class figures. And it's posable enough that you can move the handlebars around a little bit so you can get better grasps on it. There isn't really a place to put the feet. Well, I guess you could use these spikes, but really you're supposed to put the feet on little foot kickstands right here in the front. Who cares about accuracy? I don't know about you, but Dare to Be Stupid is currently playing in my head right now, and I couldn't be happier. And just for giggles, you can do a little Ed 209 mode here. Yeah, Gerwalk motorcycle. I have two minor nitpicks about the alt mode. The first one being the wheels don't really roll on a hard surface like a review table. They do roll on a carpeted surface with no problem, but you can't really do a doot-de-doo. The other thing I don't particularly care for is the battle axe. You plug it into the back in that peg hole that is the figure stand in. All you get is this pinwheel, which that does work for a song about daring to be stupid, but it's just dumb, and I would have loved if there was another way to maybe put the axe on the inside of the alt mode somewhere, but the directions say to just peg it into the back there and go about your business, so, oh well. Before we end the video, I did want to give you a word of warning about transforming the figure back into robot mode from the vehicle mode. There is a little bit of a trick to getting the chest to collapse correctly, and that is first open it up all the way, flip the windscreen down into position, collapse this little gray bit and the brown bit into the chest, all the way up like that, and then fold the backpack up, and it will bonk against the back of the figure. And then we can just kind of fold the shoulders in and just pull the chest forward just a little bit, and the shoulders will peg into place without any real drama. And there we go. The designers who came up with this figure should be proud of themselves. This is a wonderful toy, and it is a wonderful rendition of that original 1986 character. I can't think of any other ways to improve it other than the minor QC issues that I have. The design is excellent. The paint is phenomenal. It feels great in the hand. It's got a fun transformation. It poses excellently. From the head sculpt to the saddlebags to the chest lasers to the wheels, I can't think of how to improve this figure at all other than those minor QC issues that I've got. It's a fantastic figure. And if you're a fan of the 86 movie and Season 3 of Transformers, or Season 3 of G1 Transformers, that is, this figure has to be in your collection. I love it. I absolutely love it, and it's one of my figures of the year, hands down. So folks, head down to the description on this video and get over to the Big Bad Toy Store to pick this figure up for yourself. You will not be disappointed. Thank you so much for watching this video review. Let me know what you think of it down in the comments. Be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Be sure to comment on the video, as I just said. As always, I am Baltmatrix, and I'll catch you all next time.